This is a fully transparent look into my first couple of months building a new business, Pitch.Audio. Will I sink? Will I swim? Time will tell. I'm Jimmy Frew. I've had over 20 years experience in the electronic music industry, from producing music, DJing, running record labels, engineering, mixing down, TV, film syncs, and more. If you want to learn more about my journey, jump over to my Instagram page and check the post that explains my story in more detail. It's linked below. So this all started late last year when I made a huge decision after 7 years of working with some incredible partners and co-founding and building a couple of really innovative music tech businesses. I decided it was time for a big change. I even thought about leaving electronic music altogether. Well, that was kind of the plan. The other plan was to help my wife, Paola, launch a new series of products. It felt fresh and exciting to me, but after 3 months, we had to hit pause due to an unexpected change in her life. And that left me in a pretty vulnerable spot. I didn't have a backup plan. I was asking myself, like, what now? How am I going to make this work? But during that time, I learned so much about programs and education while helping Paola. The idea of creating my own program had been bouncing around my head for years, but never felt right. Maybe now was the perfect time to go for it. So look, thankfully I had some good investments that I made, and it gave me the confidence to take a leap. And one day I was walking the dog Rosie on the beach, and the name Pitch just popped into my head, and I laughed because I needed a name for the business, right? But it was such a common word. How was I going to get the URL or social handles? And then I was kind of inspired by the previous project that I worked on, and I looked at the .audio URL and it was available, and I jumped on it. So I grabbed the domains, I started designing the logo, and I designed the logo. And then I ran it by some really talented graphic friends and got their thumbs up and locked in all the social handles for Pitch.Audio. But I realized something really important, that this business probably needed to connect to me, Jimmy Frew, and all the work that I'd done in the industry over the last 20 years were tied to that name, my name. So I created a new Instagram under Jimmy Frew, and I started to get to work on social organic content. And fast forward, I got to work on Building Your Base. It's a program that I've designed to help DJs and producers and labels build solid fan bases and a poppin' community, whether it's for a hobby or a career or even just creating a healthy side hustle. Because it's not just about gaining followers, it's a holistic approach that gives you the tools to stay focused, track progress, and grow the right way. And to test the waters, I launched this like super risky, mysterious ad campaign, and I just had this instinct to do it. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I ran the ad, people saw the ad, and then I had this application that was attached to it, which was a 20-question survey. They also had to share a track that represented them the best and join my Discord. And guess what? It worked. I almost couldn't believe it. I started connecting with these really high quality leads who made it through all the hoops. But the thing about that is, as crazy as it was also expensive. And it was about $7 a lead. And at that time, even now, it's not really sustainable. So I paused that and I shifted to social organic content. And my goal was to hit the ground running with 2 posts a day, 2 reels or a carousel, mostly focused on reels. And I started at 0. And since then, I've got right now 122 followers in the month. But if I'm completely honest, this Instagram thing is challenging, okay? It started really strong. I was getting great engagement, shares, comments, encouragement, and a lot of reach, actually. But now, it's really slowed down, all of it. And I feel like my content is on point because I'm getting feedback from friends actually telling me that it's inspired them or it's getting them thinking. Anyway, it gets pretty disheartening when all you want to do is grow, but it feels like almost you're a little restrained. Especially, I've heard that because I'm new and have a new account, Instagram wants me to prove that I'm real and not some bot or some scammer, and I get that. So what I'm really trying to do is push this hard for 3 months and just stay consistent and post. And another thing that I'm doing is I'm experimenting with a lead magnet that I dropped at the beginning of the new year, which is 2025 cheat code guide to leveling up your electronic music career. And it's actually working really well in terms of leads. I'm paying about $2.60 on average. However, I've been questioning my approach. I think I've made a bit of a mistake with the ad. Instead of getting super niche and only focusing on, say, house music producers, I've gone pretty wide with it and I've said electronic music producers as a whole. And yeah, I'm just starting to think that it's the wrong approach. So I'm going to turn that ad off soon and tweak it, get it back out there. Look, in terms of sales, okay, I've sold 8 in my first month. I am proud of that, but it's a long way off my goal to sell 1 or 2 a day. And that does feel like a really big lift on the way things are tracking, getting that momentum. One thing I'm really passionate about is keeping the prices of the course really affordable, because what I've learned and what I know is that budgets are pretty tight for a lot of emerging artists. And I've heard some crazy stories about people saying, it's $8,000 or $4,000. And so yeah, I'm focused on creating like these no-brainer deals that are kind of like bite-size information bits. My course now, Building Your Base, is $47, and I've made sure I've packed it with value. Okay. So check it out if you're interested in something like that. So what's next? Look, I plan to keep doing this hopefully once a month, recording updates, tracking my progress, taking snapshots. My ask for anyone watching that resonates with this: if you know someone creating house music, tech house, drum and bass, UKG, they're making awesome music, but they're struggling to cut through the noise, please share my program with them or my Instagram with them, because I truly am here to help. I'm not one of these scammers making promises. My reputation is on the line. I've got a big history to uphold, and it means a lot to me just to do the right thing. So for anyone that's watched this, thank you for following along, and I guess I'll see you in the next update.